Great, Ben. Great to have you here on my call, here on my microphone, and I'm happy that you could make it.
Yes.
Actually, Ben, I mean, how much do you miss the water industry?
I miss it. I actually find myself missing it quite a bit, but it's fun what I'm getting to do now. I miss it, and then sometimes there's things I don't miss, but that's with everything.
There are things you don't miss. I mean, the
There,
water industry miss you. That's what I can tell you. We definitely miss you because whenever I look into my social media feed, I'm thinking, okay, there's one cool kid which is no longer available. Well, you still pop up sometime, but it is
Mhm.
something different, especially the content you're creating. So yeah, you are missed.
Thank
Definitely.
you. It was great to have the community around a lot of the stuff that I was posting. I'm happy that people are missing what I was putting out.
Okay, great. We wanted to talk about social media today, right? So social media, especially for Watertech company, and as you worked already with aqua membranes, I mean, we still remember you was walking around with your mic and you was interviewing the CEO. I mean, I've seen Steve on your microphone and all the other people. You most probably you was annoying the people, walked into the office and say, "Hey, I have a question." Right?
Uh-huh.
I mean, that means something. That means, at least for me, social media was important for you in aqua membranes. So,
hmm
what would you say to a CEO, let's say, which still exists, that says, "Well, social media, we don't believe in that."
I think you're missing out on a great opportunity to set yourself apart. I think in my experience, social media, especially for water tech companies and like LinkedIn, I mean, it was a great opportunity for us to show that we're different, not only in our product, but in the way that we were showcasing and getting in front of people. So I think you're missing, if somebody were to say that to me, I'd ask them to rethink it and take a look at some of the success that other companies have.
Yeah, yeah, and in terms of the channels, what do you think? I mean, I have the example. I was once talking to an US company, and they told me that they are on each and every social media channel, whatever is available, right? I mean,
Yeah.
especially in the US, you're using a little bit more than we here in Europe. But she told me that whenever she creates something, she's going out and she's posting. And even if she gets just five clicks on Twitter, I mean, she's saying, well, these are five clicks, right? So it could be relevant. I mean, from my perspective, I'm always saying, forget all of them and just go on LinkedIn. That's what my perspective is. What's yours?
Yeah, I mean, for a lot of water tech companies, I mean, you can go if it's not hard, sure, but you're not going to, it's not like being on every channel is giving you a lot of benefit. I think making sure you tailor the content that you're putting out on social for that platform. So LinkedIn for water tech companies and water companies generally, since you're doing a lot of B2B or working with municipalities, that's where everyone is. That's where your customer is. And so making sure that the content you're making is tailored for LinkedIn is probably the most. So you can post it on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, YouTube, but make sure it's optimized for LinkedIn and that's what you're posting for and making sure that it hits that audience. And honestly, LinkedIn is probably the best opportunity to stand out because that's where your user base is and you don't have all the noise of regular people who have no idea what's going on. And people make a lot of bad content on LinkedIn. So if you make good content, you stand out.
I mean, you made an interesting point. You said it is not only about creating the content, or let's say being visible somehow. It's also that you, or let's say about the technology. It is also about how are you going to present that? How are you spreading the message? And I think that is so super important, right? I mean, to be honest, we have, I don't know how many membrane companies out there, right? Or how
hmm
many pump companies, how many pipe companies, how many sensor companies. And to be very honest, I mean, most of them, they're all same, right? I mean, it
hmm
is little margin only that this one is different to the other. But in the way how you are, bringing this to the customer, that is actually the differentiator, isn't it?
Yeah, the way you're showing it to them, the way I think like at Aqua Membranes when I was there, for example, it was a lot of very personal, felt like guerrilla type of like entertaining content from a membrane company. I think people were really thrown off at first when it was like, who is this young kid that's posting like interviews with engineers where they're, just talking it up, or I'd post a skit, or it was trying to really stand out and make us look different, get people interested, and trying to like get out of it's so easy for companies just to go on there and talk about why their product is awesome, like all the time, and saying the same, like, and we definitely fell into this and you learn, but you try to stay away from using the same buzzwords that everyone uses, change your graphics, innovative, sustainable, blah, 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 blah. It's like, let's move away from like the same words that every company's going to use and try to show off I don't know, show off with a cool video or take an interesting picture, put personality behind the company, or have your salespeople and the people working for the company post really fun and engaging content that pushes back towards the company.
That's it. That's an interesting perspective, because I know a lot of salespeople that are shy. Believe it or not, there are shy salespeople that are afraid to step in front of a camera and give a sales pitch or give a webinar or talk to someone as an interview. But on the same side, they are somehow in the sales role, right? So they need to be in front of someone to pitch the technology, to sell the technology. I don't get it to my mind. So what was your acceptance rate? I mean, running through the company just with your mobile and saying, okay, I'm going now to interview you. I mean, was it pretty hard, or, I mean?
It's interesting. It was actually pretty easy with the people that we had there. And even now, I think whenever you come, so everyone's a little scared of the camera, but once you come in and you are able to say like, we're just gonna have a conversation. I'm just gonna set up the phone, here we go. It gets way easier. And you do a few takes and people kind of forget the camera's there. But at first there definitely was like okay, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm not like, I don't want to be perceived online. That was kind of the biggest thing is.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's the fact of, people are watching you. And I think that's so scary, and everyone was kind of, once I got to know them too, and they got to know me, everybody was, I think, a little more comfortable. It was like, okay, Ben can lead this. Like, I can make it work. Just follow my lead a little bit.
My advice here is, whenever you want to record something, I'm talking to the marketer, then I'm telling them, okay, first you need to create content of yourself and you publish that. And the second is, go to the CEO, get the CEO on board, interview him, get him in front of the camera and publish that, because that lowers the barrier for the others. If you run them to the CTO, if you run them to the sales or one of the engineers and say, hey, I want you on the camera, and they have already seen this content, that lowers the barrier for them to say or not to say no.
Yeah.
So that would be my advice. So you got your CEO, you got your investor, you got all the people, right? So how long did it take to record that? Was it just pretty simple?
Whenever Well, with Craig specifically, it was super easy. He's great on camera. At my current job now, I make a lot of content for actually like construction companies, stuff like that too. And Craig is still probably one of the easiest people I've ever had to record. He's just good at it. So that made it easy. And then with Steve, I think I started with Craig, and then I said, Steve, I want to talk, we're just doing this. Let's just have a conversation. It'll take 5 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever. Like, let's just talk. And he was like, okay. And when it comes to these things too, making sure you pick topics that these people are experts on makes it really easy. Because then they don't have to think about what they have to say. Yeah, like, if I'm talking about why investment in water technology is growing and why it's important, I think Steve could, if you put a microphone on him, he could dissertate a whole book on an hour. So I think that was a big thing. And talking with other salespeople and stuff, it's just like, okay, like, what's their background? What are they gonna have an easy time talking about? Because I'm not gonna, if you ask somebody that's something out of their comfort zone, it's gonna be a lot harder for them just to get on camera and talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you really want to go really, really deep. Just recently, I was for another episode with Antoine. I was looking all my old YouTube videos, right? So pretty old one. The first time I recorded was, I don't know, 7-8 years ago. And I recorded just with this mobile phone, right? Just me and another person. No mic, nothing. Just this mobile phone. Super bad quality in everything. But still on YouTube available, couple of thousand views. So I mean, how good is that? Right? Get a couple of thousand views over the years that people, and there are some relevant people that are really interested in the company and the technologies, have watched that. So, I mean, how good is that? right?
Oh, it's great. I mean,
Yeah.
people are always concerned with like, oh, the quality is not good enough. Are they going to do this? It's like, really, I mean, you've got with your phone now, and even from the phone 7 years ago, 8 years ago to now, you can make really good quality content with the phone. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, Antoine makes everybody look bad because he has the quality really dialed in, but we can't all be
I will
him.
send him a message afterwards.
Yeah, but like, yeah, it just, you want to get your message across. And whenever you make good whenever you, as long as the content's good, the quality of it, of the conversation, the information can help the content stand out, no matter how good the quality is. So it's like, as long as you have really good conversation, the information you're providing is top tier. Yeah, maybe the quality of the video or the audio isn't perfect, but people will still watch. And for your company, record great stuff and you can send it over to customers. I mean, that was one thing that we did too, was like make really good stuff, and then you have an account you're going after, a company you're going after, find who that person in the role is and connect with them on LinkedIn. They're going to go look at your profile. And if you have good stuff on there, they'll click on that. And so it's really just about getting stuff done and putting good information, good stuff out there.
Exactly. That's one of the things I'm telling everybody who doesn't want to hear that. But let's say if someone comes to your webpage, and let's take the example. I mean, if Aqua Membrane comes to my webpage, I go to LinkedIn and I connect with these people, right? With these people from Aqua Membranes, because the next step is that the algorithm will show them my content. So, and most probably one of the people, right, is interested in me or in the service or whatever. So, and this is exactly how this game works, right?
Oh
This
yeah,
exactly.
100%.
I mean, was a great example, right? I mean, connecting with people, because then they get the content, then they are in the algorithm. So from time to time, whenever you shoot something from your personal account or from the company account, they will get it. So you don't have to pay for that. It goes automatically, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's free work. It's the algorithm working for you. And we see
Exactly.
it, and it's not just I mean, yeah, like if you're, I think sometimes everyone in the water industry gets kind of insulated in their own thing. It's like, look at what other companies are doing. Whenever, like, that's what the other companies are doing and having a lot of success with. And you don't have to pay for it. And you can pay for it. There's certainly ways to pay for LinkedIn ads or pay for Facebook ads or whatever. But if you make great content and it gets in front of a lot of people, that builds a lot of credibility and it gets your name out there.
Exactly. I mean, we talked a lot about video content. What other content formats you like, or let's say you have used in specific? But better. I mean, the biggest concern everybody has is how can I find valuable content? How can I create this kind of content? Principle, there's a super simple answer for that, but I want to have your thoughts first.
So I think there's two different things that I see upcoming that are really working well. And there's Substack and the newsletter piece of the world. So like the informational article, which LinkedIn has their own newsletter feature that's really nice as well. But providing a well-packaged, good informational like piece of kind of long form writing in the form of a newsletter where you're giving people information that's valuable to them. And it could be valuable about your company that people just want to keep up with what's going on. And then there's it's photo, but it's not super polished photos. It's a lot of the way that you've done photo on LinkedIn, the photos that are really good, where it's like your personality showing through. You know, you're kind of the emoji almost. I've seen one where you're like, you're always like staring at the camera really mad and then taking the photo. But when I'm on my feed and you see somebody like scolding you, you know, like what is going on? And so you click, and then you have your information in the caption there. And on LinkedIn specifically, those two things seem to be really, really, I think, kind of up and coming as a way to support different types. You know, so you're not just putting out videos, you have a bunch of different mediums, but I think those two are great. It's kind of the long form writing. I mean, the water MBA stuff on Substack is really cool.
True.
And
very true. Shout out.
Yeah. I think what he's done, it's all different, right? Like there's a few different people who stand out in the industry. His is much more technical, more in the weeds a little bit. Antoine's is more large scale investment. Yours is more water marketing, but they're all kind of marketing and doing the industry justice in their own different ways.
So whenever let's keep here for the moment.
Yes.
Whenever a company comes to me and say, or someone comes to me and say, how can I find content out of my company?
Mm-hmm.
So in principle, the answer I'm always giving that's exactly what we do also when we take over marketing for other companies is we look into every photo, we look into every graph, every table, whatever is available in a presentation, and every little piece is one content. So you can
Mm-hmm.
have a table explaining that. You can have a graph explaining that. And what we do is, especially when I do these kind of things, is I use these little pieces first, and out of that, I'm creating the story. So whenever I get a photo, this simple thing, team photo, take
Mm-hmm.
a team photo, and I mean, how many stories you can use talking about this team photo? Achievement, well done, we moved to here. I don't know, there's so much things you can just
Mm-hmm.
use with one photo. And then you have a photo from someone joining the company, someone got promoted, someone, I don't know, you want to introduce just the people. Then you take photos from your technology in an installation, during production, on a transport. There's so much
Mm-hmm.
people don't see that they have so much valuable content somewhere in their files, but they don't think in the way that that is content I can
Yeah.
use. I just need to polish that and write 2 lines to that.
And then
Crazy.
it's easy.
Yeah, exactly. It is
Mm-hmm.
exactly a super simple process. Just look into your files, what you already have. And everybody has a sales presentation. Out of a sales presentation, you get at least 4 or 5 posts out
Yeah.
of there, right? So that's it, right? You don't need much. And the
Well,
good thing is, if you then have also some faces, that's I'm a strong believer in,
mm-hmm.
because then you can combine this to personal as well the company account. Then you would not be perfect, but let's say almost there, right? So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
right, having really a personal person with the company, 1 or 2 faces.
It's so much more. It's so much more simple than people think. They overthink it, especially when you have a bunch of engineers. Everybody's overthinking it. Um,
That's their
like
job, right? They have to
that's
overthink everything.
it's good, yeah, and it's two different minds, right? But it's like you give all these presentations at all the conferences, and people go, or you give a sales presentation. It's as easy as put a face to the presentation, or just put your face up and show some expression. We're all very used to like very nice professional photos, but if you put a little bit of your own personality into it, and it automatically makes you stand out, and gives the person looking at it feel like they know you a little bit more. They get an idea of who you are, which makes it more comfortable. And I think of it like when you're posting about your technology or whatever your company's doing, it's like whenever you send your family a photo of your dog or doing something funny. You can send a very funny photo of your dog, and then you can write this whole thing about why it was so good and what happened and all the context. Just translate that mindset into your product on the truck. And you take the product, a picture of the product on the truck or the installations going in, and then you just give an explanation of what's going on. It's just the same thing to a different audience.
Exactly. And especially the photos from installations from your product in the field doesn't need to be perfect. Doesn't need to be perfect, right? So that
Mm-hmm.
is, I think, the very, very simple thing. Everybody think it needs to be cleaned up because, I mean, but we all know, I mean, if I have some installation in the field, it looks dirty. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
after 2 years, it looks rusty because
Yeah.
we are talking about water, we are talking about air, we're talking about moisture. So there's some movement in. So, but that is not bad, right?
No.
Even that you can show. I mean, if you ship something to a customer and it is already rusty, I would be a bit concerned to post that on
Yes.
LinkedIn, actually.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. There's certainly things that if they're wrong, you don't want to, but for the most part, if it's doing its job and it looks like it's being used, that's not a bad thing. I think, yeah, sometimes perfection can get in the way of progress in all industries, but
Yeah.
it's good to be very wary of that for sure.
I mean, let's talk about the elephant in the room here. What is your thoughts on AI with
On AI.
LinkedIn and social media for,
Oh.
creating content?
So AI photos are the bane of everyone's nobody likes them. And it kind of makes you like, if you're posting just AI photos, it's kind of like I don't want to see what you have to, like, it's just bad. And then AI text is so easy to see. Really what it is, all AI models are being trained on the same data. So if whenever you post a caption and you tell AI what to write, you sound like every other person that's using AI. So you guys all sound the same. There's nothing different. And there's nothing worse than saying the same repetitive text with 10 different, with a bajillion M dashes and the same expressive like metaphor at the end. Yeah. And the images there's all you can always tell they're always bad. They're always bad. They're super unoriginal. I'm a big hater of AI images.
I'm me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Sometimes I take one of these AI photos and say best fail of the week or something like that. Even if the algorithm doesn't like that I do that, but I don't
Yeah.
care, right? Sometimes it is really, I mean, why does this person have 6 fingers, or where does this pipe go? Nobody knows, right? So I mean, the other worst thing is, and I saw this morning. If
Yeah.
someone is posting, I mean, we are very close to IFA in Munich, right? So the big exhibition here, and I saw someone in the morning posting the 3D booth, empty booth, and saying, "Yeah, we will be at the IFA in Munich. Just come May, whenever, to visit us, to talk to us." And I'm
Yeah.
thinking, why? I mean, I get it that people are desperate to find content, right? But how
Yeah.
desperate you need to be that you post a empty 3D booth of the upcoming trade show, that you will be there. Come on.
Yeah, I mean it's at that point you're just there's better ways to do it. There's just there's other, like having a 3D rendering of AI making your booth. It's like, why don't you show off what you're gonna have in your booth? Or honestly, no one cares what your booth looks like for the most
Exactly.
part. Like
Exactly.
what do they care about? You're gonna be there and what information that your valuable information you're gonna provide them. That's what you need to talk about and so it's like, are you going to talk about, I don't know, you're doing granting sludge removal technology, something, who knows? But what's a funny way to show off how your sludge removal technology? Like, put on a plug in your nose and a hard hat and say like, like do something, I don't know.
Plug in the nose.
Yeah, sludge is stinky.
Oh yeah, which is true. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just like stuff like that. Like how, I don't know. That's my first thought is, yeah, there's so many more fun and creative ways to do it. Or like, I think, what was it? A few years ago, Veolia did like it was like a singing video. It was like the CEO was singing or doing something.
I don't remember
And
anymore.
yeah, it was a YouTube video, but it was creative and interesting. Whenever I watched it, I think it had a decent amount of views just generally on YouTube too, which when you're a company as big as Veolia, you want to get out to a larger audience. But it was so creative, it set them apart. And yeah, it's like the AI image is just going to make you fill into the void of other people posting AI images. There's nothing personal about it.
True.
And it uses
yeah,
more water. Oh yeah, it uses a ton of water, which
which is good for us, because then we can provide the technology for that, right?
Yeah.
So is a conclusion we should create more AI images?
I think if you get the AI image and, well, I don't know if I can come up with a good reason to make an AI image, really.
But let's say I need to keep that in mind, right? So the only reason is really that we can sell more Watertech to these data centers.
Yeah. So the data, if you want to create a new industry to sell technology,
we create a new industry by using AI for shitty content on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Damn, come on, that cannot be the conclusion here for that interview. So what is the one thing, Ben? The one thing, Watertech company, if they listen to you and to me here, what is the one thing they should take?
I think I would say, if you're looking to make better content, I would sit down and say, what makes us unique, and and start to get creative ways on how you tell that story on how unique you are. So show off what you do differently, and then put your own personal creative touch on it. And I want to emphasize personal to your company, personal to the people that work there, so that you guys stand out as who you are and not fill into the void of everyone trying to be the same.
Yeah, I would definitely double down on that, on the personal one. Show faces. Don't show only the technology. Show the faces that produce, that engineer, that operate, that bring that on site, whatever. Show these people on their daily work, right? So as
Hmm.
you did, you was running around. I think someone told me recently that you was sitting in the car with your CEO interviewing him while driving.
Uh-huh.
So
Oh
show
yeah,
the
we did.
people, show the people really during the work how they do that, because these are the people behind the technology, and you need to talk to at least one of them if you want to get the technology, right? If you want to
Uh-huh.
understand the technology, right? Technology is cool, yeah, you have to show that, but let's say showing the people, that is the one thing. And don't be
Absolutely.
shy, right? You don't get a lot of hates. How much hate do you got meanwhile? Come on.
Very little. No, it was,
Exactly.
yeah. Even
We
now,
are a
I mean,
friendly industry.
yeah, very friendly. Yeah. Well, and even like to be, you get on the internet generally, I get very little hate. I post a lot, even now when I post stuff, everyone still loves it. Like I'm not in the water industry. I'm water industry adjacent now, and people in the water industry still are so nice and welcoming and give me a great. No one ever hates, so I love it.
Yeah, great. Great conclusion. Ben, you said it. You will come back to the water industry very soon. We're always looking forward to that because, as I said in the beginning, we miss you. No, no, just joking. Thanks a lot, Ben, for being on this mic, for sharing your thoughts about social media.
Yeah.
And again, please come back very soon.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But it was great. Thanks for having me on. I really loved talking to you again. It's been good.